Hello everybody, I'm Static Stardust and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So I'm chewing on gum, I apologize. So last episode was a freaking nightmare. We realized the same guy got killed in two places at the same time. One at the prosecutor's parking lot, and another in the police department's evidence room. So something fishy is going on here. Somebody's saying somebody's lying. We know that much. And we are given one more day for Edgeworth to find more evidence and for us to find more evidence. So let's continue. Alright, February 23rd, 2:15 p.m., Wright & Co. Law Offices. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room? What's this? And the evidence room part. The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out, or try to at least. Alright, let's do it. Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us! Alright, February 23rd, Prosecutor's Office Underground Parking Lot. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in another evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum wasn't empty. The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor. It was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. It's a thing. No matter how many times your sibling will push you, you love them regardless. You can't just not have them, guilty of stuff. It's like, they're not guilty unless I say they're guilty, damn it. It's not that at all. It's just, we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. I forget sometimes you're in high school. You're so tall, you're taller than me. Well, whether this was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science to your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Luminol. Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But when the police have already done those tests, never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. But me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink it. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains on this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look. I'll lend you these glasses. Get an extra pair of these? Whoa! It's a virtual boy! Oh my god. To test for a blood reaction, spray the luminol spray on it. Like this, see? Press enter to spray. Alright, good luck, find some blood stains. Alright, I'm gonna have so much fun. Oh! There we go! I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So, this is a blood stain? It's so... Emma, you're shaking. It's just... This is my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigation in action. Okay, well, we definitely know that this is a blood stain. But doesn't something strike you as odd, scientifically speaking, of course? What's odd about this, scientifically? The amount of blood. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, shouldn't there be more blood if there was a stab wound? And plus, he died from over excessive bleeding, so that's also another one. The perpetrator and the Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little bit more blood? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to be more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm going to mark the floor plans when we find bloodstains, okay? See? I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. We can't be sure the police will reveal all of their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Now let's drag that hidden evidence right into the light of day. Yeah! Feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? I guess I should give the spray thing... Guess I should give this spray on anything suspicious. Ha! I wonder how that flute of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Starr! You only trust your own eyes, Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in... Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. I don't want to piss you off, but, do you want to talk? I didn't mean to do what I did today in court. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Starr, but... No, it's okay. It's my fault. Oh, we know. Don't put me in hot water now. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that I wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Uh-oh. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood. That testimony still stands. I swear it on my honor as a detective, she stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph was something important to tell us, but what? So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it all up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know. I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. And before long, they called me the Cough-Up Queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. I mean, the name has two meanings, so I can see as to why. And you were fired. I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. Hey, have you heard of the DL6's older brother, the SL9 incident? SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean we can't bring up SL9 with her. Well, okay, and I'm back. So now I do know where we're supposed to be going. So back to the underground here. Present her with this photo. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room, but even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime. I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's why I took this photo. Yeah. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The whole of my testimony, as it were. 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. Your lying was the problem. Listen, little girl, I had my testimony disregarded before, and I wasn't going to give it a disregarded again. Just like that time. That time? Alright, so now we also present to her this. What do you think about this? The SL9 incident? It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Alright, so now we can talk to her and we'll probably get more progressive. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable? To who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So, they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Excuse me. Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It didn't get any clearer than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence, not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence, of a sort. Made up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others were found themselves out of the job. And you were one of those. Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be? Exactly, Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. That's quite a mouthful. Detective Marshall? As professional detectives, we investigate that case from every angle. Jake was practically determined. And then, it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side, that we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait! Those lunches you sell! There is only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. The Star's old boyfriends? How many does she have, anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 disappeared, we find new evidence? There has to be a connection. So, Rookie, what? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Ooh! Then you should take this. A Salisbury steak lunch? Thank you. I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Ooh, that actually looks really good. Miss Starr, can I have a lunch too before I leave? I have cash. It's like, I want a lunch too. I'm hungry as hell. Oh man. Officer Marshall, is he your, are you his, are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me actually kind of jealous. And he was so nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Alright, so now I think I know where to go. Police department? If not here, then... Yep. Alright, police department entrance. This place is charged with frantic energy as always. Please! Huh? Wasn't that... One steak lunch, please! Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. Well, I really needed some steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean the one from one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. It's like... Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal, now we just need evidence. The criminal? You mean... You heard about the stabbing at the police department evidence room, right, pal? Yes, we literally just went through this. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Now listen here, pal. All I know is I need a steak lunch pronto. Standing around here talking isn't gonna fill my belly. But wait! Don't leave! If you wanna know more, head down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figured he's down there having the good cry. Later. And he's gone. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Alright, now we know where to go. Now we know where to go. Detention center. Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best not to go too far down that road again. Now things will just get more confusing. What was that? Siren Head? Is that you? Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was the perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Hi. Greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Officer Meekins, so you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report? She's like, no. No, sir, how should I say this? Wait, he isn't, is he? You, Officer Meekins, you didn't, did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir! What? What? Now, this is an unexpected turn of events. I don't think it's Meekins that did this. And look, even his badge has him doing the same little salute, like, Day of the crime. Sir, I'm a patrolman, sir, with general affairs, sir. Sir! Ow, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So, normally there's a guard at the evidence room? That's right, sir, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person. Yo, my hand. What the heck is this guy doing? He's just very active. So what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And then, when I came to, I was here, in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand? Just like the sky. Yet another similarity between this case and the one that at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. bandaged hand. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But, sir, that was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And then the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were... Huh? Then, when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir, all alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? Then, when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hands, sir. Oh, the shock, oh, the sorrow, sir. Can't you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared? That's some story. The victim? I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. You have to label me as a perpetrator or a victim, sir. Then label me a victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive and well at that. Yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So, you didn't know him? Sir, I work in a tiny department, devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So, if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Let's present you with stuff, I guess. Yeah, this? I'm sorry, sir. Alright. Sorry you had to see that. What exactly did the Chief of Police want you to do? Well, see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for everything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here? Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. You didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. Are you fucking kidding me? A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. Better make note of that in case. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Shoot. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Well, I never thought the day would come when Wright asked me for help. I was wondering if I could investigate the evidence room. Now, righto. Actually, I don't need to investigate any after all. Righto, please, do I look like a selfish man? I mean, no, but at the same time you look questionable in your orange suit. Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. It just goes to show you never know until you ask. And for you, here, you can borrow this. Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That is a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir, it's an honor. Just run along and do your best now. Later, folks. And he's gone. It looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? You seem happy. Yes, sir, because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. Alright, so now we can finally move on to the guard station, I think. The evidence room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha! The card reader is turned off, see? What is that security guard thinking? Howdy, partner. Well, well, what's my bambina sky so gray? Marshall. Officer Marshall! Why does it have to be him? What's that? What's that? Why did it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here is my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw! That card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw. Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. The crime scene's waiting. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then. Did I say that? Alan said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. Can we even talk to you? Guard station. I was wondering if we could talk to you. Sorry, Bambina, but I'm off to roam the lands like a tumbleweed on the wide prairie. Like a gunslinger loading a 6-shooter, I'd say a little prayer. What the hell? What was that all about, Mr. Wright? I think he was just too hungry to talk. You're just saying that because his stomach was growling. You have no idea what he was talking about either. Well, in any case, we need to get cracking on this investigation case. Alright. Alright, the evidence room, finally! Sector 3. It's quiet. The investigation must be over. So, this is the evidence room? It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Dick! Oh! Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So is it true what you heard? Righto, please, do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50, I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead and investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out. Yeah, it's true. So, Chief of Police Gant will loan anyone $50? Even me? Oh, Gumshoe, how I missed you. Oh, so that's what you were talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Boss for a day. But guess what? You get permission from the chief? Now show me your boss for a day. Chief, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. A scene of a stabbing of a detective at the PD. Hang on now. Okay, so it's just like the area of where it happened. Alright. Oh, wait, hang on. It's a little lukewarm, but here. It's all nice and buttery and warm, and the butter's melted. Allow me to say one thing. Speaking as a detective, if I see a piece of evidence I know nothing about, I say nothing. Nothing. That's fine. You bet it's fine, pal. Alright, let's just examine for now. No, actually, let's talk. Boss for a day. So, Detective Gumshoe, you're boss for the day? That's right, it's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation again. And I'm adamant though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe? Of course. I am a detective after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open? Evidence lockers. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it. Using their ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my 3rd card since entering the force already. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint. Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coated with a fingerprint. So the only locker we can open is our own. Funny, they look like normal lockers. These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles? On the other side of the handles is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it, bzzz, you get a shock. If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force who don't know about the fingerprint locks. Alright. Edgeworth. I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee right now. They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call a fate? Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. I thought we were talking about DL6. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get him to tell more about that case. Detective Goodman's note, and that switchblade knife. I bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. Because of the SL9 connection? That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was the man to be feared. But why would evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. SL9? No, that was bloody. Now that was a bloody, violent case. Violent? So it was a murder? A serial killing? A serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved with this after all. But the killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. And this was 2 years ago? That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight, and started the rumor mill. Rumors? About forged evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is. Huh? What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see? So that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? That's not good. There's something sticking out of here. It looks like a shirt. I guess it must be evidence for some case. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal, making me out like some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was opened recently. How do you know? If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence? Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot too. I bet he hasn't tucked in his shirt under that trench coat either. If you're going to talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal. Alright, so there's that. I'm sorry, what the hell's that? What's this? Blood? It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright! What if there's a blood stain left in the room? We should use this. Alright, so let's see. Let's check the lockers. Bang, 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 bang. She's like, you know that cost me my allowance, right? And it's like, don't worry, I'll get you more. Oh. Bam! That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, Detective? Pure blue blood. Well, clearly we're dealing with a purebred. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien. This proves that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make note of that in the floor plans. Hey, if you don't want my opinion, you should have asked. Alright, let's see. Is there anything else by chance? Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What's this? It's called luminol testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief. Where do you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. Well, I better jot this down on the floor plans. Alright, so there's that. Alright. Alright, that's done. Let's examine... Hello, Mr. White Glove. Someone left a glove here, but only one. And it says SL9 on it. Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. There's evidence from the case, you know. You mean SL9? It does have a tag on it. Alright, so we have a white rubber glove. Look, this one's open, and the red indicator light above it is lit. That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprints. Detective Goodman's locker? Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that? Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. Paint? Oh. What's with the solemn paint doing here? Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression. What the hell are you on about, Gumshoe? True art? I noticed that there's some blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger? Well, you might say this is my studio. Here? In the evidence room? The evidence on the floor. Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps. Yeah, let's just friggin' make Gumshoe look out like an idiot. That's apparently from the case SL9. Take a closer look. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broken. Why don't we try to put it back together? Good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I gave up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue, along with literally everything else in the world. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest back together. But we're missing a piece. Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. I kind of understand how it got broken. Unstable jar added to the court record. Alright, let's move to the guard station. Now I know what to present Marshall with. I thought I had to give that to Gumshoe. I'm a big old dumb. That smell. Ah, reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from a baby? Yeah, Miss Starr. What's this? What? What's wrong? A fillet steak lunch. I see, I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. Alright, so now we get that to Marshall. Alright, Bambina, you win. Anything... Finally, it seems like... Well, he's wanting to talk. Alright, let's talk. Guard station. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of the security room for the... in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at detention center told us. Ah, that poor little doggy. Poor guy. I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, it might not look like it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know. So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here anyway. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job for keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take to machines much. Kind of like the skewed broccoli they'd sneak in next to your steak, you know? Security system? I know what maybe 2 of the machines here do. Only 2 of them? There must be dozens. Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them as much as I like my skewered cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekin mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. Thus the card reader by the door. The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. One number is entered twice. So this is the ID card. Hey! I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambina. I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw the number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove the record is tied to the stabbing? See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was keeping the ground in the parking spot? The number on that is 5842189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. Look at the 4th number. It's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So, when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. But wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's just the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. If he had his ID card then, why would he have to point a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, Comprende. You win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. Alright, so we have the record. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. Oh, Gumshoe, darling, do you know what this thingy do? Oh my god, we have two rows of evidence. Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. Ah, I heard about the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here. Whoa! What is it? The second number. It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth! What? The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. What? What? Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? What? Do 1,001 things and be lost until you look on the internet for help. Or be lost forever. February 23rd, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. You? The butler? Ah, guessed. My apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window, a teacup in hand. Right. He has the hotel bring him tea service. Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Ah, yes. He brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info here is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. Inquiry committee. So, how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this case not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again. I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Alright, tomorrow's trial. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still proceeding prosecuting attorney. However, does something happen? They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes. Any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police, Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, you ask? Why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still. Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Yeah, we gotta talk. Oh, right. I better check this now. As I was saying, what's this? A record of ID card usages? Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. Why? Mr. Edgeworth, please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less. The Chief of Police? He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was assault, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought these back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make note of it. Screwdriver. Evidence from past case of Edgeworth brought back to his office by Gant's request. Stubborn as always, I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. Do you know what this thingy does? Please, I'm prosecuting this case. I was button mashing. I didn't read most of the dialogue, but in some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You're the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. He must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant. That wacky old coot who was involved in the case 2 years ago, too, then. He was top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why was Deputy Chief of Police on the investigation? In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't... Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, Chief Prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? What? If you were still studying forensic science... yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid. Well then, you might have use for this. Aluminum powder for testing fingerprints? It's been chemically tested for better adhesion. For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, no need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Well, let's get going. One last investigation. I do remember seeing suspicious fingerprints somewhere. Alright. I think I know where to go. I think Alex knows what she's doing. Back to the police department, back to the guard station, and back to the evidence room. Yes! Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Bam! Hearing this blood on the detective's locker. Let's use the secret weapon we just got. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. Oh, I didn't know that. Let's choose the finger that will be on the... let's choose the clearest one. I really can't tell the difference at an angle. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. Alright, fine. Sheesh. Okay, now it's time to check for fingerprints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh? How do you do that? With enter, see? Ah, it looks like it did a little trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. How would you do that? With E. Exciting, right? Wow, that looks like fun. It might take some getting used to, though. It's fine. It won't go away on your nose or anything. Just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprints, Mr. Wright. I guess I'd better give it a try. Let's move on to a different finger. Okay. Alright, let's just cake it all. Let's just cake it all. Aha! You did it! You found one! But this looks like nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we're wasting our time. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Looking at the locker again closely. Okay, so let's try again. Seems like there are fingerprints. Yay! Print so clear it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. No crap. Let's mash it up right away. So we're not done yet? This is quite a process. Well, there's no proof in finding a fingerprint, and not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth, and point out the person you think left these prints. How am I supposed to know who it is? I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints would most likely who we would most likely find in the evidence locker? Alright, so comparing comparison complete. Not a match. Not a match. Meekins doesn't look like it matches. No. Kind of. Oh my god. Oh god. Match found! Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. What? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking so what. Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but next time there's always next time. Wait, if I remember correctly, there's one other handprint in this room. Let's check that out. This is where we got the luminol reaction, right? Right. There's a handprint here. Okay. Wanna try using this? Check for prints. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up using it, we only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. What you would say the possibility of your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Alright. There it is. Alright, just dust everything. Just coat everything in a nice big old layer of dust. Aha! I gave it my best shot. That kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it? But it doesn't look like it'll get clear result from this print. Let's try out a different finger then. Aha! Alright, so this one is... Comparison complete. Match found. Hey, these fingerprints, they... Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall! Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? Marshall's fingerprints added to the court record. That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma... this is decisively different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminal reaction. The blood and fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints. With a white blood stain. But why would Officer Marshall... It looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. Oh my god. Alright, so obviously I'm going to stop here for the day. So thank you guys for joining me on this episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. If you like this, leave a like, subscribe, and check out 2 of the videos / playlist on screen. Subscribe by poking my face and hitting the little subscribe thing next to it. I'm Static Stardust, and I will see you guys in the next episode on this channel. Bye.